Hey, welcome everybody to this first episode of C4C, Crafting for Christ Minecraft. We're excited to have you on board. This is Dave, BadgerFish 71 coming at you. Today is, well, we're just going to introduce our world to you. I usually start in my first basement because I have several. This is my house here. I had a lot of help decorating. I've got tables and chairs and couches and end tables and so forth. And then my house sits out here overlooking our wonderful village here. We've got a number of players who have built quite a few buildings down here. A lot to see. Somebody built a nice tall tower out there. And off in this direction we have another house under construction. Looks like a birch building. And well, we just really haven't expanded off in this direction. But what I'd like to do today is take you on this tour and show you some of the more exciting places in our world. I'm going to start with my house again. Got a little set of shelves, a little kitchen area going on here. But the exciting stuff, for me at least, is down here in the storeroom. We have lots and lots of storage for various things, mushroom blocks and leaf blocks and dyes and flowers. And I have a number of food items over here. Oh, somebody's been having at my carrots again. We've got nether stuff, nether quartz, netherrack, nether bricks, end items, and soul sand and so forth, and various wood. Various stone and andesite and smooth stone, cobblestone, that kind of thing. And then over here we have some dripstone, sand, sandstone, copper, various amounts of armor. Oh, some blaze rods. I'm surprised there are any in there. Oh, and somebody left some leather. Very nice. And we've just got a lot of stone and a lot of empty boxes over here. I do have a few other things, some food items. We have plenty of sugar cane. Looks like somebody helped themselves to a little bit of that. But we have a sugarcane farm on the other side. We have more storage over here. This was newly added and doesn't have much in it at the moment. And then behind us here we have some farm going on here. Now, you know, advanced players will have villagers doing this kind of work, but this is my farm and I haven't got around to getting the villagers. I've been working on other projects. So these plants grow here, but I have built an auto harvester that uses sticky pistons to release water and auto harvest those. You'll notice that they just aren't ready for harvesting just yet, so we will have to address that at another time. I've got some additional farms and stuff in the back, but I'll worry about that another day. Down here we have a totally separate experience. Got some lava here just in case we ever need it. We've got an enchanting section here with a full enchanting table and bookshelves and various enchanting materials. Over here I've got my auto-smelter, which allows you to smelt large volumes of items very quickly. It's got 16 furnaces, and those furnaces are powered by all of this bamboo back here with an automatic loading system that keeps the hoppers full of bamboo. And I don't see anything in those hoppers, which is of interest to me because that's, well, they're supposed to work. That's running low, that's full. I may have to do some research on why that is not quite operating as it's supposed to, because way over here I have a mine cart that is empty, and these are all full, and these are full, and these are full. Oh, you know what I did? My powered block here is stopping this hopper from loading anything past this point. So this one's full, but the rest of them have not been filling completely. So I think I will have to fix that shortly. I will come back and address that. I did not anticipate that. And looks like we have a visitor in our bamboo farm, but he's not doing anything. Down below we have multiple mines going on, various levels of caves and so forth. Working on some redstone rail systems there. And it goes all the way down to bedrock down there. And then finally, I have my 4th floor, my basement, which is intended as a shop at some point, and we are missing some stones here, so I will go fix that shortly. We do have some extra bamboo. Looks like somebody's helped themselves to quite a bit of that. I do need to rework my farm. Now, before we go traveling, looks like we'll need to sleep, and of course I always bring a bed with me. And I'll just sleep out on the front steps of my shop here. So we'll head out into the village just a little bit. Up there is my house. And we've got various houses. And if you're on the server, I'll let you explore the various houses and builds that we have. One of the builds that I've worked on is our transit station, and I built it with copper, and right now it is most certainly not shiny anymore, but that's the aesthetic. Perhaps I will replace it with wax copper at some point. But as we come in here, you can see that this transit hub is kind of like a little train station. And as you can see, we have various rails that take us to different places in our world. So we will be journeying to Jericho very shortly. This is Hannah 4300's mansion leading off in that direction. We'll probably visit that at some point. And in here is the main nether portal to the nether spawn hub that we have. And look where it is. It's right in my second basement. Now, for those of you that might be new to the server, my house is open for visitors, and you can help yourself to as much as you'd like, although it's appreciated if you are respectful of my time and the time that it's taken me to collect all the items that I have. My goal is not to feed and clothe and prepare everybody, it's just to offer occasional beneficial items that might be of interest to a build or a mission or something like that. Okay, we're going to pop this little minecart on this rail. I'm going to sit in there and press this button, and off we go. So this is sort of a tour through our town. We do have a McDonald's over there, made out of some very dark materials. See my house up there and the transit station as we travel through. There's a beautiful cross created by one of our members. Thank you, Lil Nami. There's another cross on another build there. There's the banner shop over there. That is totally worth a look. And I built this rail in the hopes that this would be a fun trip. You can explore the underground between the main village and our Jericho build, which you can now see out here. Look at this build. This is an impressive construction here. All right, now that we're off, I'm going to collect my cart because we will need that. Just look at this thing. It is a massive build. It's got construction and materials of all kinds. It's just amazing. We have Shalom 7 Yeshua, Tiffa, and Admiral Curse to thank for the work that went into making this beautiful building. Now, if you'll remember in the Bible, Joshua marched around Jericho 7 times. Here's a little bit of that army marching around. Oh, and they have the Ark of the Covenant right there that they carried around with them. That's pretty cool. So as we travel around the outside, you can certainly see the volume of materials that were collected and used in its construction. Plenty of detail over here. You can see sandstone and birch, various materials used to make this amazing structure. Oh, and look at this. They did not have the Ten Commandments, but there they are, the tablets that have the Ten Commandments. They're abbreviated just a little bit, but the point comes across loud and clear. I'll let you jump into Exodus chapter 20 to get the full explanation of each of those, but there we go. No killing, no cheating, no stealing, no lying. I like it. So let's take a quick look on the inside of Jericho, because the outside is impressive, but the inside is just gorgeous. And look at that banner here. And we have a little memorial sign there. How nice. I mean, look at, there's bars and more signs. Yeah, we have had a few issues of people wandering off with items, so yeah, a little bit of concern about things disappearing. But we've got camels, and look at all of these beautiful flowers and bushes and little potted plants hanging everywhere. There's shops. Looks like maybe a restaurant here where they're doing some cooking. This is truly an impressive build. All the colors just go well together. There's little buttons as decorations, and we've got trap doors and leaf blocks and what look like palm trees with coconuts on them. And just various little shops through the town here, selling different wares and banners and materials and supplies. Just various constructions here. And if we go inside, all the interiors are decorated with paintings and plants and furniture of various kinds, storage, lights. I would have to say that they put in some wonderful effort, and they just made this place look amazing. What a wonderful place it would have been to live. Definitely an impressive build all the way around. They even have a jail over here with guards watching. Now, another fascinating detail about this place is that it's full of little hidden passages and hideouts for playing hide and seek. So some of our members jump in here and play hide and seek sometimes, and they have a good old time. They even get a little rowdy sometimes. So if you happen to visit our server, I would suggest that you stop on by Jericho and take a look for yourself. It's time once again to travel back to our spawn village. And it looks like we don't see quite all of the signs there, but that's okay. There we go. Now, we won't be able to visit absolutely everything today, but we're going to take a look at a few of the builds out there. Some of the more special builds. Beautiful construction and so forth. Very pink and brown checkered house in there. And we even have some parkour courses scattered around our village here. That's a popular pastime with some of our members. Alright, I would say that we should go check out Hannah-Bear's mansion. So we're going to jump on here and head down this very long corridor. I just want to make a shout out to our players. We've got a group of 15 or so, and they've been very busy contributing and working hard and doing their builds and just working together and having a good time. I know there's been a lot of laughter and even been a little bit of drama, but we're doing okay. And we're hoping to build up a few more players, because some of our players are very social players and they love to have people online when they get on. Okay, now this doesn't look like much yet, but that's because we're hidden behind a secret entrance here. And this is Hannah-Bear's creation. This part is a hotel that has rooms for everyone on the server. And I will let you explore those if you happen to visit. We've got a dining table with food on the plates. And I haven't even explored this entire place myself. And we have a kitchen over here with storage and ranges and a pig. Apparently they serve bacon in here, literally and figuratively. But this isn't everything. Oh, like, we're going to have to sleep again. This is Hannah-Bear's library. It is filled with many, many bookcases and a spiral staircase that goes on and on and on. Look at all the detail in here. All kinds of little decorations and potted plants. And as we go up this very long spiral staircase, you'll see all the bookcases that are set aside for reading, because Hannah-Bear is an avid reader and a writer. She loves her books and she loves to write. And we're still heading around up the spiral staircase. And still heading up the spiral staircase. And yet more spiral staircase. I think I will have a little bite to eat on the way. It's such a long staircase that I have gotten hungry. All right, there's a cute little nook right there. And it's a bed. We needed it to be daytime anyway. And there's an entire massive bookshelf up here. But we're not done with the bookshelves yet, or the spiral staircase, until here. Wow, that is quite the build. And there's even a rooftop overlook. But if we want to see just how big this building is, we can stare way down there to the bottom floor. That is a long way down. So we're going to travel up here. And I think you have to crouch or something. But we can stand and look out over. A little hard to see some of the world out there. There we go. We are rather high up here on this build. And there's the roof of the hotel. It is definitely an impressive construct. And now I'm stuck down here. That's okay. We will fly to the bottom with the help of Elytra. And we will land down here and just enjoy the scale of this build. That is the library right there, and the hotel next to it. She's got some crops, and I believe some mushroom cows. I can hear them. So as you can see, that is an impressive build. But we've got more to adventure here on C4C. I'm going to jump back in this cart and head on down. We're going to return to the transit station. And from the transit station, we will take a look at what else is available on C4C. Nearing that transit station. As we have more destinations, we will add some more rail lines to this area. Although it looks like we'll have to probably expand a little bit to do that, but that's okay. Now, like I said, we have a nether portal, and this takes us into the nether, where we have another spawn hub. It is not as glorious a build because I put this one together. It definitely could use some decoration and improvements, and it could use a little spawn proofing because we do get zoglins in here occasionally, but they seem to be relatively benign. So let's take a quick look. I'm not sure if this rail is even still intact. This is the rail out to our stronghold, and I had a little fun making this scary. But it flies off the end and lands safely elsewhere. The danger of this one is that the ghasts sometimes knock parts of the construction to pieces, and then the rails don't work that well, but it's a risk I'm willing to take. And it looks like, well, looks like we have that very problem right here. So we will need a piece of rail added in there. I will try to get that fixed. I think I will just replace one from here. So at least you end up inside. All right, so this takes us to our stronghold. We will transport into there. And let ourselves through. Have a little mini base. Maybe a few supplies. And then we have our portal into the end dimension. That has some other things, but we are not going to adventure there today. And I'm not fast enough to get through that door sometimes. All right. And because we don't have the rail completed, I will just park myself here and get going that way. See quite a bit of lava ocean there. And I think I heard a ghast. Pay no mind to us over here, buddy. Oh. I think we're okay. Now this can't fly back up to that rail up there, but we have some stairs that lead right off in this direction. Interesting. Something has changed there recently. I don't know what that is. We are going to adventure now to Jebel al-Lawz, which is a new build, which is the mountain of God, or Mount Sinai, the mountain where Moses went to speak to God while the Israelites were in the wilderness. And also constructed next to that is the stone that Moses smote that poured out the water for the Israelites. We will travel right through this portal. And here we go. So up there is Mount Sinai. Oh, I managed to fly up there. Let's take a rocket and get the aerial view, shall we? And here's the rock that Moses smote, where the water poured out. We will look at this from a different angle. It's supposed to roughly mimic the shape of the actual Mount Sinai, and so is the rock over yonder. Which we will take a closer look at right here. There we go. The rock that Moses smote to get water. There it is. Just like that. That would have been a sight to see. Alright, I'm going to switch out of my my elytra and get into my netherite gear because the nether is inherently dangerous. And I left my cart there, so we will close that up. And we will travel on back. Some of our bases are kept secret for a reason, and so we will respect that. Perhaps on another episode we will visit those, just hiding their location. But as you can see, we've got a number of builds in our world, and people have been very busy. All right. And just like that, we're back home again. And I come right back up to my second basement. That's where I start out, or no, my first basement. That's where I have all my storage, and for some reason that's where I like to be. I have some of my machines and so forth there. I do see that we are not ready to harvest our crops yet. The good thing about having my crops in this area next to spawn, there are typically players that come in here a lot and they keep the chunks loaded and grow those crops fairly regularly. For now, though, I'm going to have to figure out how to fix this minecart problem, or the hopper problem, so that that redstone does not disable that hopper. And I think the quick and easy solution is to simply add a couple more hoppers that just loop around. So I will need 1, 2 more. Yeah, because it's full. And I have a hopper now. So what I will do is put that hopper there. And we can see that it is feeding into that. I'm going to, and you can see it's already cycling through that. So what I'll need to do next is put one going in there. Then I'll have to put one going into that one, and then this one redirected into that one. So, all right, let us go make some hoppers. Actually, I think I might have some already. In my redstone stuff here. Nope, it looks like somebody's pilfered those as well. But it just so happens that I do know how to make hoppers, but we're going to have to extract a little bit of iron out of my money chest here. So we'll crack open into this and knock out a few blocks of iron. There we go. We'll put that back in the old chest there for safekeeping. Some folks wonder how on earth I can keep things going by sharing all my stuff in my house. Well, as you can see, I certainly do not. I'm sure those items would disappear quite quickly. And I worked hard for those. Okay, so we have 2 chests. Whoops, I need to convert my iron into blocks or ingots. There we go, and I can... Did I mean to make 3? That's okay, we'll have a spare. So we can travel along our little way, maybe eat a little something along the way. And head right on up here. We're going to place this one there, and this one there, and this one pointing there. And now you can see all of that going through and transferring. Most likely it's getting drawn into this one here. And so what we're expecting is that this hopper over here will empty out eventually. Once that hopper is empty, it will trigger this minecart autoloader to reactivate and send the minecart down to collect all of the bamboo down there. Alright, I think we have fixed this. It's just going to take a while to filter all that in because we've got to fill up all of these hoppers as well. And I'm just going to dump all that back in there. Those will work away. And we're not affected by the glitch that I did not anticipate. So, yeah, there's a lot of spaces to fill in there. And you'll notice that the minecart is taken off again and is busy collecting items way down here underneath the bamboo farm. Comes all the way here, dumps out what it needs to here, and all of these hoppers to fill up the chest in my little shop. And then as it comes through here, we can see that it's completely full again. Eventually it will make its way all the way back. Which is not all that exciting to watch and wait for until it actually gets up here. But we'll see it head on up here and it'll park. And now we can see it slowly emptying out. And at some point we will see the question is, how close are we? So it's already down almost a stack. There we go. Started on the second stack. I'm going to come out on the other side here and just take a look and see how we're doing. Okay, that one's full. That one is working on filling up. Now the mechanics of the hoppers work in such a way that there's a pull and a push. So the hopper will look and see what's above it and try to pull it. And then at some point it will push it. It will push it in the direction of the bottom of the hopper. Now you can see that these hoppers are pointing to the next hopper and so on until we get to this one. And then this hopper is pointing down. This hopper is pointing directly into the furnace. So that's what's feeding the furnace. But the nature of the hoppers is that it will pull the item into it and then it will hold off for a brief amount of time before it does the push. So what happens is that this hopper is right here and it does a pull while there's items waiting to be pushed, and it will pull the items out of this hopper before this hopper has a chance to push them into the next one. So the pull happens and then there's a pause, but this pull is happening, and because there's a pause, it pulls it out. So what's happening is that each one is filling up the bottom hopper, and once this hopper is filled, this one can then forward it on because this one will not be pulling anymore. So eventually they will all fill up. This one is running behind because of my glitch. But now that the glitch has been fixed, we should start seeing them fill up. Let's see here, 26. Yep, that one's almost full already. And then we'll just head on down the line. So we should see that fill up and be completed. So I think that's probably it for today. That's about a half-hour show. Hope you enjoyed it. Welcome again to C4C, Crafting for Christ, and we will see you next time.